Online School of English by Alex Rubinoff.
Hey guys, now let's take a look at some spoken phrases which native speakers use all the time. And you probably noticed that, especially if you have watched at least a few American or English movies with subtitles. So the first one is, how come you don't know? Well, that's a surprise for me. Well, that's new. So let's take a look at some examples. Please read the English versions with me. Aloud, okay? All right. Как это он не знает? How come he doesn't know? Как это он не хочет тебе говорить? How come he won't tell you? Как это он не съел мой пирог? How come he didn't eat my pie? Как это он не любит меня? How come he doesn't love me? Как это он хочет развода? How come he wants a divorce? Okay, now guys, stop the video and repeat these sentences aloud once again with emotion, okay? Great, thanks. Now with the hands, let's take a look at them. And now let's translate the Russian sentences. Как это он в суде? Угу. Как это он обвиняется в преступлении? Угу. Почему это ему нужны деньги? Угу. Как это его посадят? Угу. Как это я не могу его увидеть? Okay, now if you haven't had enough time, you know what to do. And now let's check the sentences that you have pronounced. How come he's in court? How come he is accused of a crime? How come he needs money? How come he will be sent to jail? How come I can't see him? Okay, now guys, click to pause the video and read these questions aloud once again. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Once again with the hands. Are you ready? Let's start then. Как это он не может найти работу? Угу. Как это он не позвонил мне? Угу. Как это у него нет образования? Угу. Как это он провалил 100 собеседований? Угу. Ну почему мой сын такой неудачник? Okay, all right. Now if you haven't had enough time, you know what to do. All right, now let's check. How come he can't find a job? How come he didn't call me? How come he doesn't have a degree? How come he failed 100 job interviews? How come my son is so unlucky? Okay, now guys, click to pause the video and read these sentences once again. Very nice. Okay, now let's talk about the next one. And it's going to be, are there any questions? So that's a perfect phrase for you to use it during the job interview or during some formal communication. All right, now let's take a look at more examples. You can stop the video to repeat after me. Okay? Есть ли какие-то идеи? Are there any ideas? Есть ли какие-то ожидания? Are there any expectations? Есть ли какие-то мысли? Are there any thoughts? Есть ли какие-то сомнения? Are there any doubts? Есть ли какие-то ингредиенты? Are there any ingredients? Okay, now guys, click to pause the video because those are very useful. Honestly, you are going to use them. Okay, now let's take a look at the hints and let's translate the Russian sentences. Есть ли какие-то причины уйти от меня? Okay. Есть ли какие-то хорошие идеи? Есть ли какие-нибудь письма? Okay. Есть ли люди на улице? Gorgeous. Есть ли какие-то жалобы от клиентов? Alright, okay. Now, if you haven't had enough time, please click to pause the video and pronounce these sentences in English because you might need them. And now let's check. Are there any reasons to leave me? Are there any good ideas? Are there any emails? Are there people outside? Are there any complaints from the clients or from the customers? Okay, now guys, click to pause the video and repeat those once again. Okay, brilliant. Now once again with the hints, are you ready? Let's start. Есть ли какие-то мысли о нашем будущем? Есть ли какие-нибудь вопросы для меня? Есть ли какие-то подарки под елкой? Есть ли какие-то преимущества? Есть ли какие-нибудь советы? Very good, okay. And now click to pause the video if you still need to translate those sentences. Alright, and now let's check. Are there any thoughts about our future? Are there any questions for me? Are there any gifts under the Christmas tree? Are there any advantages? Are there any pieces of advice? Alright, that's nice. And that's a final Christmas tree for you guys. And you can pause the video and read those sentences once again just to be sure that you can do that on your own. Okay, very good, thanks. And now let's revise what we had today. The first one, you remember what it was? How come you don't know? Oh, that's new. Oh, that's a surprise. I'm going to give you a Russian sentence as usually. Please translate it without thinking because it won't be difficult. Okay? And let's start. Как это она выходит замуж? How come she's getting married? Как это она не любит его? How come she doesn't love him? Как это она любит другого? How come she loves another man? Как это она беременна? How come she is pregnant? Как это она пропала? How come she is missing? Alright. Now guys, click to pause the video and read those sentences once again aloud. Especially the one about pregnancy. Okay, thanks. And the next one, are there any questions? So that's a very useful one, a very useful question. So let's take a look at some Russian sentences. Please translate those without thinking, because it won't be very difficult for you, I promise. Okay? Let's start. Есть ли какие-то идеи? Are there any ideas? Есть ли какие-нибудь мысли? Are there any thoughts? Есть ли какие-нибудь сомнения, друзья? Are there any doubts, my friends? Есть ли какие-нибудь вопросы? Are there any questions? Есть ли какие-нибудь жалобы? Are there any complaints? Okay, now guys, click to pause the video and you know what to do. Please repeat those sentences. Very nice, thank you. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching and see you very soon. Have a nice week.